Hey, this is Wealth Motivation with Mark Hill, here to talk about Bitcoin today. Now, a lot of people I know are a little bit upset or a little bit worried that Bitcoin hasn't been flying to the moon as of lately, but that's okay. I'm here to give you a little consolation, a little comfort to let you know that Bitcoin is going to be all right. Bitcoin is going to be all right. It's holding around $40,000 level. And this is when all the money is made. When there's fear in the markets, right now there's a fear in the markets because interest rates will possibly be going up this year. There's going to be a lot of volatility this year with the Fed threatening to raise interest rates. But that's okay. All that does is create buying opportunities. The fundamentals have not changed for Bitcoin and other great assets like it and other big name tech stocks. I've been using this opportunity to buy more, just nibble on it a little bit. When things are down, that's when you want to buy. It's all psychological and emotional. Bitcoin was forecast to be at around 100 grand by now, the last December, but that's all right. That's all right because this is it's still going to 100 grand. It's going to 100 grand, 200 grand. Many experts predict $1 million plus over the decade. See, I'm in it for the long run. I'm in it for the whole 2020s, this whole decade. Okay? And look where it was in 2020, 11,000 a coin. See, well, it's possible, but I seriously doubt we'll ever see these low levels again. It could hit around $30,000 level, and I think many institutions and wealthy people will buy it up. I don't think they'll let it fall below that. And if it does, hey, that's even more of a gift because this it's the real deal. Bitcoin is the real deal. Kind of reminds me of Apple. Bitcoin is about 10 or 12 years old right now. It kind of reminds me of where Apple was in 2012 when everyone knew. Well, they didn't know, but you kind of had a feeling Apple was taking over the mobile cell phone market. It was taking over, but the masses weren't quite sure that they were going to beat out Samsung because in 2012 there was still a little doubt as if whether Samsung was going to beat out Apple for the number one spot. And clearly they didn't because I remember Samsung was coming out with bigger screens and Apple was still having a small screen and whatever, but people didn't take into effect the ecosystem. They were saying, oh, Apple can't innovate anymore. All they got is the iPhone. Well, that's all they needed because they got the whole, once you get a customer into the ecosystem, there's so many ways to monetize the services from apps, credit cards, Apple Pay, the Apple Watch, everything. It's just, and they became number one. But if you wait till it's clear that they're number one, then the price is already too high and it's too late. But back in 2012, Apple was like at $20 a share. So now it's what, like 8 or 9 times higher than that. So, and it's still on the move higher because Apple's clearly number one. But that's what Bitcoin reminds me of right now, the stage of where Apple was 10 years ago. I'm not giving investment advice. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing because I'm right now I'm on a little vacation in the Caribbean, traveling around a little bit, and things I've seen here throughout the Caribbean reminds me of why I should be even more bullish. That's why you have to travel. And this reminds me why I should be even more excited about Bitcoin. Recently just bought more. See, the news headlines talk all about, we've all seen about how El Salvador has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender as a country. And those dominoes, more countries are going to continue. But what we haven't seen so much in the headlines have been about how the Caribbean is really, really adopting Bitcoin, Caribbean countries. I mean, here, I've seen Bitcoin shops here in the Caribbean. I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that in mainstream news lately. But when you got feet on the ground in different countries, you're going to see economic opportunities or economic activity that you won't necessarily see in mainstream news. So that's why it's important to travel, not just for vacation and relaxation, but also for education, culturally and economically. So you got Bitcoin is becoming large in Dominican Republic. You've got see, look at these headlines. Antigua is becoming the most crypto-friendly country in the Caribbean. They're saying here. The Bahamas is making their own crypto coin, the Sand coin. Uh, there's all kind of headlines if you look them up. The Carry coin. I mean, if you look them up and not just depend on mainstream media, it's a lot of things going on. And I think Latin America and the Caribbean they're really going to pump Bitcoin to higher levels along with institutions. I mean, look at Walmart. Walmart, you can't get more mainstream than this. I mean, if Bitcoin wasn't here to stay, you wouldn't see people like Walmart, companies like Walmart getting into crypto and into NFTs. Walmart's talking about making their own cryptocurrency. And I think I don't know if that'll be successful or not, but that's showing you crypto is real and Bitcoin is the creme de la creme of all crypto. So you can't get more mainstream than that. I'm also here, I'm looking at these computer chip stocks like AMD and NVDA. They're taking a pullback. This is just all buying opportunities because we know the metaverse, driverless cars, gonna all need more computer chips. I'm probably about 80% of all my investments are in crypto and computer chips because that's going to be the theme of this whole decade. As technology continues to advance, more driverless cars, more electric cars are going to need more computing power. And that means more big profits for these types of companies. So anytime you see pullbacks on Bitcoin or computer chips stocks, made the good ones, you got to see it as a buying opportunity, not to go all in at once, but to go in, nibble a little bit here and there, here and there. And a pullback is deserved a little bit because I mean, the markets have been going up for 2 years in a row. So we're in a little pullback is expected. A little bit of a pullback is expected because we are in an election year with the midterms. So that's always historically the midterms, along with an interest rate hiking uh, frame of mind from the Federal Reserve. That's going to prove to be a rocky, volatile year here in 2022. So I wouldn't expect things to just fly to the moon overnight in 2022, but 2022 will provide a lot of opportunities to get good quality assets at lower prices to really profit on a upswing probably later in the year after the midterm elections are over, probably later in the fall. So it's good to hold a little cash, raise a little cash right now, be patient, take advantage of big sell-offs with quality companies in big tech and computer chips and crypto like Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin. Look at Microsoft taking a nice pullback, giving you a good price, giving you a better price, I should say, than it was. So if I was selling you a Porsche at discount, people would be happy. But when you got great companies like this at discount, people get nervous. That's just all emotional. That's not logic. You want to be able to dollar cost average it into these great companies. Look at Apple's taking a pullback. If it drops down, it's got support at 143. I'll be all over that. Or just, I particularly like the big leverage tech funds that can include Apple, Microsoft, all in one, in a triple leverage for bigger gains. I nibbled a little bit on this Tesla fund this morning. Okay, but you should expect a little pullback. This is called a healthy pullback. Take one step back so you can take 10 steps forward. You can see right here, the global chip shortage isn't ending anytime soon. You need more computer chips for crypto mining. You need more computer chips for driverless cars. Like I said, you need more powerful computer chips for the metaverse. The metaverse Web 3.0 that's going to continue to keep growing this decade. Trust it. Now do your own research. I'm just putting out the information here, letting you know what I'm doing. But trust me, technology is only going to continue to grow more and more this decade and make a lot of people richer. Every year, this decade, more millionaires will be made. This is Mark Hill. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned in for the next video.